Okay, how about now? How we doing? Can you hear me now, Nora? Thanks, Nora. You know, you're the only person that came on and said I can't hear you. So shout out to you being a great community member. I want to give you a free copy of my book. Send me a DM. I'll send you a free copy of my digital book. It's 5-star rated, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. Can you hear me now? You might have jumped off, so Nora might have jumped off. But if she didn't, then I'll get her a free copy of my book. But how are we doing on audio now? How's audio? How's audio? Can anyone confirm how audio is? Can anybody confirm audio? All right, let me see if I can. I can't see. Okay, good. All right, thanks, Cash Rules. All right, appreciate you. All right, so yes, we have a lot of things that we're going to be changing, a lot of things we're going to be updating um, as we continue to uh, create things, products, processes that will make car buying easier. And right now, I'm testing a new live stream software I'll be doing, and I want to make sure that it works because I can actually go live on multiple platforms in different orientations. And but what you're probably going to not see is the ongoing live stream. We've continually streamed our broadcast 24/7 because it allows us to put information out there that people need, that people can't always catch our streams live, so they'll watch them in replay. But we have we're gonna change that because what I want to do is I want to make those many people who are using the Cars from Home system are very familiar with that 7-step process. And if you're not familiar with that 7-step process, then you're really asking questions from you're drawing from a blank. And we want something to totally put you in a different category. If you have no idea what we teach, you have no idea about the processes we teach, the fact that we teach a process, I really don't want you on the same live as a person who knows our process and they're trying to get to their car. So I want to set what I'm going to start doing is separating, I guess, basic knowledge and teaching to get you. Again, you got people 3 and 4 cars using the Cars from Home system already. They're already transformed. They're never going back into a dealership to buy a car. It's just it's over. They've been using our stuff since 2021 or 2022, maybe 2023. Even if they started using it in 2024. I don't want you and it's you need to be on a different broadcast than them. And so that's what we'll be setting up soon. Do you bid with GM employee pricing? You bid with everything, Miko. GM employee pricing, how do you know I'm giving it to you? You come in, you say, hey, I'm looking for at this Tahoe. I get GM employee pricing. I say, okay, your price is $58,280. How do you know that's the real price? You don't. Now, if you are getting multiple bids, then someone else is going to confirm the same price. Someone else is going to confirm the same price. On top of that, if you get employee pricing, how do you know you got what about the rebates? Are there any rebates? No, there's not. How do you know there's not? So when bidding is the only way to reveal the truth in your car deal. You're dealing with 80% of dealers who are not going to give you the true price. They're not going to give you the real price because they can sell the vehicle to someone else for more money. So it doesn't make sense for them. That's their business model to sell the car at this low of a discount and give you the rebates that you're deserving when I know that I can sell this same car to someone else who'll walk in and I can sell them for more money, and I don't even have to tell them about the $2,000 in rebates that we're running right now, so I can keep that too. That's why bidding is the only way. If there was another way, then I'd tell you there's no other way. The only people who I was worried about and who any salesman was worried about, we can't play these games, we're going to lose the business, is a customer who is shopping around, who has multiple offers. We're not doing this negotiation game. I'm calling you from home, or I'm emailing you from home, and I already got my pricing. You know, hey, what's your offer? Nope, no games. If you play games too long with that person, they're gone. They bought a car from someone else. They gave you the opportunity, but you want to play games. I always say you start with my free cheat sheets. They're in my bio. You can click the link in my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. Start with the cheat sheets. I am going to retire the cheat sheets soon because I don't like the cheat sheets. And I'm going to tell you why. Early on, I started writing a lot of information. Let me see if I can get us live on TikTok. Remind me to tell you guys, and I'm not seeing comments. All right, I'm not seeing comments. Can you guys hear me? Type ones in the chat if the audio is coming through. Let me know. I know we're good on Instagram. I don't know if we're good on YouTube and Facebook. Type ones in the chat if we're good. I don't want to keep talking on YouTube and Facebook and we're not good streaming there. So let me know. And then I'm going to tell you why I'm going to be retiring the cheat sheets. And we've used them for I'm going to say we're going on over 3 years with our cheat sheets. A lot of great information in there. But the teaching style has changed. How we get to our deals have changed. Hang on one second. Let me end this live, and then I should be able to start another live. Okay, hang on. I need to stop this live, move it to the trash. All right, here we go. Now let me see if I can rebroadcast on Facebook. Yeah, this is only a test. I'll answer some questions while we're on here. Do you mention after the bids? Nope. You give everybody everything they need up front to get your bid. When you don't give them the information and you mention some things after the bid, it could make you look, it could make, if they just lied to you and then you give them more information and they're like, if you say, all right, you just give them everything up front. Again, from a time standpoint, people wonder, how do I make deals? And we got cars from home, people using the cars from home process. How are we making our car deals in 90 minutes from home? It's because it's streamlined. We don't play these games that most people were taught to play. We just don't play these games. And most of the time it's, you don't know what to give a car salesman so that you can get an offer in 5 minutes. That's the problem. Let me know if we're good audio wise on Facebook. We're streaming on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're not on TikTok. We will get up on TikTok soon. But let me know if we're good on, if the audio is good. Just type ones in the chat. I'll give you guys some short updates. We'll be doing some things you guys can expect over the next, it's some great things coming. We're switching up how we do a couple things. And let's see. Okay, well, all right, let me see here. Yeah, I'm doing a test, but while we're on here, I'll answer some questions since I'm on here. As some of you may see, I'm streaming in a different orientation. I wanted to be able to stream vertically. So looks like we'll be able to accomplish that. So all I need to do is make sure we're coming in good on audio, and we'll be good to go. All right. I'm still not getting any signals from anybody on Facebook. I need to get some of my people on here on Facebook. I need to get some of my solid people on Facebook. Once my community comes, they'll let me know if my audio's good. How we doing on? Let's give them some time to get here. All right. Let me know as you come in if audio's good. We just went live on Facebook. I want to make sure I put the bid right when I start the email process. Okay, perfect. Miko, are you using the Cars from Home system? Or are you just you email and doing your own emails from home? How's that? You know, let me know. That way I can better guide you. As we get people who jump on Facebook, let me know how the audio is on Facebook. Where's my people? Unless y'all can't comment. Somebody give me a thumbs up on Facebook. Somebody give me something on Facebook so I can confirm. I might need somebody to go from Instagram to Facebook or something. I see a couple people on Facebook. I don't know why y'all not letting me know my audio is good. I don't want to keep talking and y'all can't hear me. That's what I was just doing on Instagram. I was talking for 2 minutes and then somebody said we can't hear you. Or YouTube. Can you hear me? Type a 1 if you can hear me. This is ridiculous. Can somebody from Instagram jump? Let me just jump over here. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you, Lanice. Good Lord. I'm looking at people in the chat. That's the weird part. I can see that there's several people on here, and I can't get anybody to confirm the audio. Thanks, Kevin. All right, so yes, we'll be doing some things differently. As you can see, we have a different orientation we're streaming in. I'll be streaming from our vertical view now on a lot of the platforms. I'm just kind of testing it out. And while I'm doing the test, while I'm on here, I'll answer some questions if anyone has any questions. I'm just trying to see how I want to look. I'm going to actually take these videos. You already assessed your car. Oh, you brought the book. All right, Miko. Wonderful. Wonderful. And you know what I'm going to be doing, Miko? I would hope by next week I'm going to come up with a support pass for people who have the Cars from Home system, be it the book or be it the video checklist. Because I don't want, yes, Tim, yeah, I don't want to have the same people. I want to do a live specifically for people who have the book and who have the video checklist. I'm most likely not going to be doing general lives anymore. And I'll tell you why. Definitely not for strategy. I'll come teach certain things I want to teach, leasing versus buying, certain principles I want to teach. But what I find, Miko, is I can't, like you, I can guide. You've already assessed your value of your car. So that's step 2 of the process, done. Your equity assessment. Now you're moving through the process. So you're moving through a set of steps, the Cars from Home steps. Talking to someone who has really no knowledge about the Cars from Home process or any process in general is just, it's not going to be helpful. It's not going to, I rather go deeper with the people who have the book and who have the video checklist, who are using the Cars from Home process, and see to it that you get through the process with maximum results quickly. And then we can do something totally different for people who have no knowledge. They don't have our cheat sheets. They don't have nothing. They don't have the book. They're really coming from a base of, you know, No process. So I just don't. I those two people shouldn't be on the same live broadcast. And so that's what we'll do. We'll start setting up a private live, and we'll give you guys access. And again, some of you are not going to need it. So let's be clear there. Some of you are not going to need it. We do not make products that require support. And so when you get the Cars from Home book, the ebook, it's 7 steps. Thousands of people have gotten that book. The blueprint is there. You don't need Deshone to answer questions about it. Some of you would like to access me. I got a couple books here. I can read these books. There's a couple of them I would pay to be able to get with the author, because that's just what some people like. Hey, Deshone, could I jump on a live with you every week until I get my car? Okay, let's figure that out. But again, that should not be the same group of people who are coming to the lives with no knowledge of the Cars from Home process, no knowledge of anything. They might not even know who the heck I am. So we'll probably move to more of teaching principles live, but we're going to retire the lives of just getting on and answering questions. That's going to go away. That's going to go away. Maybe by next week, possibly the week after that. But that's going to go away. We're not going to be doing lives, just Q&As. We have to get results. Learned about I am a leasing person and wasting on You know what, Miko? You have no idea how much you're blessing me, because that is the principle that I want to teach more than anything. It's the foundation of what we teach, the most important question. Leasing versus buying is the most important thing. It's the foundation of your car deal. No matter how much money you get off your car deal, if you get $10,000 off, but you should have leased, you overspent, because purchasing is expensive in the beginning. The reason why you lose in the beginning with a purchase compared to someone who's using our stuff, who gets a below market lease, they're paying cents on the dollar, compared to a person who purchased a $40,000 car. If you purchase it, let's just use no money down, keep it easy. $40,000 car, every $5,000 is about $100 per month on a 5-year loan. So that's an $800 a month payment on a 5-year loan. 6-year loan, maybe it's a $700, $720 payment, 6 years. On a $40,000 car, a below market lease is going to be between $400 and $500 a month with no money down. So when a person drives off the lot in the same car that you just bought brand new for $800 a month, or $720 a month for a 6-year loan, and they're paying $400 to $500 depending on the lease deal they got, they're paying $400 a month less than you. So they're winning in the short term. In the long term, you're going to win, but it's not 3 years. Why? 3 years they're going to get their second lease. Now they got a brand new car and they're paying $400 to $500 a month still. You're paying $700 to $800 a month still on the same car. Now that car has no warranty. You've replaced the tires, you've replaced the brakes, you've had to maintain the car. We're not even talking about things breaking on the car. We're just talking about normal maintenance of brake fluid changes, changing your brakes, changing your tires, changing your oil. You've had to do that. So when you now add this up, this person is thousands saved compared to you. So when do you win? You don't win until that lease person goes for their third lease, and now your car has been paid off for a year or two, and you now have no payment. And even if you paid cash, it's not about you. You could have paid cash. It's still the amount of money that came out of your household to acquire this vehicle compared to the person who leased. It's no comparison. They're driving brand new cars. They're not having their cars break down. They don't have to deal with batteries going dead. They don't have to deal with changing their brakes, and they don't have to deal with any of this stuff. There's a price for that. They're paying less than you, and they're having a better experience than you. You lose in the short term with a purchase. But if you keep the car long enough to outlive depreciation and to have all that money you put into the purchase make sense, now that's where you win. But that doesn't happen until you get to year 8 to 10. Start with my free cheat sheets. They're in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio, in the YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. This is the biggest thing that we want to get across to people. People say, oh, well, if I lease, don't I have to pay for the mileage? If you purchase, you pay for the mileage. Let me ask you a question. If you bought a car today and you drove it 20,000 miles in 1 year, isn't that car worth a lot less than a person who bought the car today and drove it 5,000 miles in 1 year? You depreciated the car way faster. It's way worth way less. Why? Because you put more miles on it. You always pay for the mileage on the car. The thing with the lease is your short-term depreciation is what you're trying to beat. If I depreciate my car because I drive 20,000 miles a year and I bought it and I attached a 6-year loan to it, which is what most people are doing. Now they're talking about 7 years. You guys know we have the rule of 72 on the 10th birthday. This is an affordability measure. We're not going past 6 years for a reason. If you have to go past 6 years for a car, you can't afford that car. These are indicators. Now there's a 50-year mortgage coming. Some of you know if you have to take a 50-year mortgage on a house, you can't afford that house. 30 years is the max. So the same things is when we approach cars. We look at a 6-year loan, and if I'm buying my car and I'm putting a ton of mileage on it, it's no different. I'm paying for the mileage because my car's worth less. But here's the beautiful thing that most people don't understand about these leases. In the short term, when I get a great lease deal, let's say I get this $40,000 car and I get a lease deal for $420 a month, no money down, 12,000 miles per year. Now I got a $40,000 brand new car. I'm the first owner, and I'm paying $420 a month. I didn't put a dime down. I drive off $420 a month, like a 1.1% lease. Now, that's 12,000 miles a year. Let's say I wanted to convert that to a 15,000 mile a year lease. You know what happens? My payment goes from $420 to probably $450. Probably another $30 a month to go from 12,000 miles a year to 15,000 miles a year. Now, if I wanted to go to 18,000 miles a year, you know what happens? It goes from $450 to about $480. And now I'm driving 18,000 miles per year. You know how many people have ruined their lease experience because they don't get the right amount of miles? Because they're saving $20 a month. So they get a 10,000 mile a year lease, knowing they needed 12 to save $20, $25 a month. And then they complain about the mileage bill they got at the end. Well, they limit you on the lease mileage. You choose the mileage on the lease. So once I make sure I got a great lease deal, which is percentage based, 1%, some of you know, we teach the Cars from Home 1% rule, the Cars from Home 1.5% rule for knowing the max you should ever pay for a lease. Once you get above 1.5%, you're paying too much for a car you're giving back. But once I do my shopping and I see that my lease is a 1.1% lease, I'm paying $420 a month for a $40,000 car. If I want to take it to 15,000 miles a year, it'll go from $420 to $450. If I want to take it to 18,000 miles a year, it goes from $450 to $480. If I want 20,000 miles a year, it goes from $480 to maybe $520. $520. Now, here's what I'm getting for $520. I'm paying $520 and I get to drive 20,000 miles per year in a brand new $40,000 vehicle, affordable payment. If you can't afford it, look at a $30,000 car. The point is, the money's coming out of your house either way. Whether you save up cash and pay and buy a car, or whether you take out a loan on a car, it's coming out of your house either way. But in the short term, if you're not keeping your cars 8 years, what you are continually doing is putting thousands and thousands of dollars into a car to acquire it and to maintain it in brakes and tires. You're replacing it in its deepest depreciation cycle, which is in that first 5 to 6 years, the car is depreciating the most, and then you're turning around and doing it again. And you haven't count the cost. You didn't sit down and count the cost and say, how much did it take me to acquire the car? And then how much did I put in it in repairs and upkeep? And then how much did I get back when I traded it in? You're not counting the cost. I'm telling you, as someone who's been in the car business since 2006, I've counted the cost. And the people who end up hearing from me and saying, you know what, Deshone, I found out I'm not a purchaser. This next car shouldn't be a purchase. I'm not keeping this thing 8 years. I should be shopping for a below market lease. Those are the people who count the costs now. They don't listen to emotional people who don't speak numbers. Everyone you know of who talks about leasing has no idea about the multiple ways to acquire a depreciating asset because they never speak numbers to you. They speak emotionally. Everything they say is emotions. Never lease a car. Well, why? Well, it's a waste. Can you go into detail about that? Well, it's the most expensive way to own a car. Based on what? See, any financially intelligent person is going to ask that person questions that eventually they're not going to be able to answer because they don't truly understand the numbers. What probably happened is they got a bad lease deal, overpaid for their lease, or they know someone who got a bad deal, overpaid for their lease, and then they're projecting that to everyone who will listen to them. That's what they're doing. All I've gotten is 1% leases since 2006. Cents on the dollar compared to people purchasing. My experience is totally different than most people. And the people who learn from me, all we're getting is leases that are incredible value. 1 to 1.5%. Add up the payments. You see how much you're paying for this car. It's no comparison. A great way to buy a car is to buy a lease or service vehicle. You save thousands. I want to say that the big problem is we're not comparing enough offers, and that's what has us jammed up. We're just not comparing enough offers. Many of you are seeing 1 or 2 offers before you buy a car. How do you know it's a good deal? How do you know it's a below? See, the people who learn from us, I want you to start using this term: below market value. Below market value. Stop using terms that are generic that people use, deal, that get ripped off and then go tell people I got a deal. Hey, go see Joe, man. He gave me a deal. How do you know? Well, he got me to my payment. He got you to your budget, so that's a deal? That's not the definition of a deal. That's not what you want your definition of a deal to be. You want your definition to be, I got a below market deal. There's 3 prices you can pay for any car: market value, above market value, below market value. Equating a deal to your ability to afford it is not what you want. Just because you can afford something and they got it into your budget does not mean you got a deal. Your budget might have been more than enough to get the car. So if your budget was more than enough to get the car, then we can't equate that to a deal. Another thing we can't equate to a deal is how much money you took off. Because you took off $3,000 from me, so I know that was a deal. Well, what if a below market offer would have been $5,000 off? See, we use these terms too lightly. And I want you to go deeper, because you'll see if most people are losing on cars, and when I say losing, that means they drive off, they don't think they got a good deal, they have buyer's remorse, they question if they did the right thing, they question if they said the wrong thing. If you know, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that's what most people do in the car business. So if you know that, then that means your approach needs to be different. I need to approach my car deal in a way where I guarantee I got a deal. And what does that look like? Below market value. And how do I know I got a deal below market value? Because I saw multiple offers from the 80% dealers. The 80% dealers are going to try to take your head off, and they're going to make you think they gave you a good deal. Hey, I took off $2,000 for you. You know, nobody's taking this kind of money off. Well, actually, I'm talking to another dealer. He's emailing me, and he's 45 minutes away. He's taking off $6,000. And I don't think that's a real deal. Okay, well, I'm talking to another dealer. He's taking off $4,000. That's more than you. You're taking off only $2,000. So you expose the 80% dealers. You can't negotiate because, again, the 80% dealers care about selling the car to someone with no knowledge. It has nothing to do with someone like me or someone who's using the cars from home process. Nothing. They don't care about someone who is savvy, who's going to make them bid, who's going to make them compete against their competitors. That is not their concern. That is not why they're only going to take off $3,000 when their competitors are going to take off $8,000. They know that I can sell this same car to someone who's going to walk in this dealership with no knowledge, and I can sell it to them and take off $3,000 or maybe less, and they're going to be just fine. Has nothing to do with people like me or you. Start with my cheat sheets. It's in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio. Click that link. It's in my Facebook bio. Facebook comments or the YouTube comments. They're free. That's the way you start your journey when it comes to cars from home. You have to change your mindset, and then you'll get the results that we get. I've been leasing for 12 years. I never put more than $1,200 out of pocket, sometimes absolutely zero. Wonderful. And my payment very seldom adjusts from car to car. Wonderful. You just need comparisons. The only thing we're missing is comparisons. That's the only thing you're missing, Donnie. When I got my last Infiniti, I got $8,000, a little over $8,000 off the vehicle. I had other dealers that were taking off $5,000, other dealers that were taking off $4,000, other dealers that were taking off $2,000. But the highest offer was $8,000. If I didn't have the other offers to see, maybe I would have thought that $5,000 or $6,000 was a great offer. It was market value. If the best below market deal is $8,000 off, and I sign a deal for $6,000 off, we understand that I overpaid by $2,000 based on what I could have gotten. If you go and you pay, you go accept a $4,000 discount on a car, and you're only accepting that $4,000 discount because you didn't know that an hour and a half away, there was a dealership with the same car that would have offered you $8,000 off, then you overpaid by $4,000 because you just didn't know where to find that actual $8,000 discount. It's not that it didn't exist. It's not that the car was different. It's not that, oh, that car wasn't what I want. It's exactly what you wanted. You just didn't talk to the dealer an hour and a half away, and you overpaid by $4,000. This happened all through the pandemic with people overpaying for Kia Tellurides, people overpaying for Ford Broncos, people overpaying for G-Wagons, $50,000, $100,000, because they're telling you that, hey, everyone's marking these cars up this amount. Everyone's marking up Kia Tellurides $10,000 over sticker. No, they weren't. So if you got a Kia Telluride $5,000 over sticker or $10,000 over sticker, you overpaid by $5,000 to $10,000 because sticker price was available. $1,000 off was available. So if you went and paid $5,000 over sticker because you didn't know that you could sit at home and you can talk to these dealers by email, and you can actually get a deal that was $5,000 better, it's not the market to blame. It's we have to get better. I need a better strategy. The car business is all about making you think you won. That's what it's all about. Making you think you won. It's not about you winning. Very big difference there. You need to think you won. And as long as you think you won, we're happy. 80% of deal, 80% dealer, the 80% dealers are happy. Mr. Jones thinks he won until he goes out to dinner with his neighbor who got the same car, and the neighbor actually got $5,000 less than him, and then they actually start talking about their car deal, and Mr. Jones coming back. I hope that never happens. Had it happen one time in the car business. I was at Mercedes and it wasn't my customer, but I heard the story because this customer caused such a commotion when he came in. This dealer sold it was a small town, and these two people had an E-Class. One of them was paying an $800 payment, another one was paying $600 payment. They knew each other. And when they went out, they sat down and they found out, hey, you got the same car. Hey, where'd you get it from? Man, I got it from Mercedes Paramus. Oh, man, so did I. Hey, what's your payment on that thing? 800. Oh, man, I'm at 600. And you ask a couple questions. Hey, did you put more money down? No, I haven't put down. I maybe gave them 1,500. You see that the deals are the same. Next thing you know, Mr. Jones coming to that dealership. Hey, what's going on? Y'all ripped me off. You just didn't know 600 was available. And that's what makes it easy. We're not negotiating our way to these deals. You have to make a down payment for a lease. You don't, Shelly. And that's the problem. We should ask questions about things we don't understand. It amazes me that I can sit here and I can tell people my experience. I can tell people I've been in the car business since 2006. I'm not you. Please, I'm trying to get you to understand. I'm not you, Shelly. It's no offense. That's like you being a doctor for 20 years and me coming in and as you're trying to educate me on things that maybe I need to know, and I come in with my preconceived notions instead of asking questions. You don't have to put money down with a lease. You just saw in Donnie, I read Donnie's comment and how she got tons of leases. Sometimes she puts 1,200 down, sometimes she puts nothing down. Same thing with me. I've had 6, 7 leases, and the most I've ever put down, I think it was the most I put down is on this one I got now, this Infiniti QX60. I put down about $1,270. That was my first month's payment, my motor vehicle fees, and my dock fee. $1,270. Drove off. $499 payment on a $55,000 truck. $55,000 2025 brand new truck, no miles. I was the first owner. They ripped it out the plastic for me, $499 a month. Leasing is not understanding leasing is killing y'all. It's killing y'all. As much as I talk about the numbers of it, your uncle's voice, Dave Ramsey's voice, is so loud in your head. And again, if you're keeping your cars 8 to 10 years, forget about leasing. You're keeping your car 8 to 10 years, you're not breaking the 8-year rule. Leasing should not be even a thought. Every time you go to buy your car, the first step that we teach is to ask yourself the most important question. How many years am I keeping this car? If it's less than 8, you should be shopping for a below market lease. If it's 8 or more, 8 to 10, forget about leasing. You're going to beat depreciation through long-term ownership. Even if you overpay by $5,000, which I hope you don't if you're using our strategies, even if you overpay, long-term ownership, you beat depreciation, you beat overpayment. The longer I keep a car, the less I pay for it. I keep a car 15 years, the less I pay for it per year. But if you are replacing your cars in the deepest depreciation cycle, which is going to be that first 6 years, your car is losing the most value in the first 6 years. You lose this percentage the first year, this percentage the second year. Even if you buy used cars, you're still losing this percentage each year. And then when you get to about year 6, 7 on a used car, starts to steady out. If you get to about year 8 on a new car, your depreciation starts to steady out. You're not losing that much each year. But many of you are buying your cars. You should be leasing. You don't understand how to lease and get a great lease deal. Let's be clear there. There's bad lease deals. And you are replacing these cars every 5 to 6 years, tens of thousands of dollars coming out of your household. You have nothing to show for it but a car that you had to upkeep, change tires, change brakes on, and you have no warranty on it unless you bought one and you paid some additional money to buy a warranty. Compared to a person who's paying hundreds of dollars a month less than you, didn't take a huge amount of money out of their bank account, and is driving a brand new car every 3 years. Yes, it's going to add up, but it doesn't add up until about year 8. That's when the purchaser wins. Start with my free cheat sheets. They're in my bio, in my TikTok bio, Instagram bio, Facebook comments, or the YouTube comments. They're free. All right, let's see. 2024 QX80 used, 18,000 miles, 52,840 payment. 52,000 is not an 840 payment. See, you got to realize who you're talking to. You got to realize who you're talking to. $52,000 is not an 840 payment. You might have an 8-year loan. Might be a 7-year loan. See, you know the saying, the math is not mathing? You're talking to a person who, thank God he blessed me, I was in calculus at a very young age. But this stuff isn't hard. You can go to a payment calculator online and type in $52,000 financing it, and it'll tell you that payment's not 80. That payment's not in, it doesn't have an 8 in front of it unless you stretch that thing out to maybe 7 years. Or, you know what we conveniently forget? Hold on. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, we're leasing. Sorry, Sarah. Listen, I was in attack mode. Sorry, Sarah. 18,000 miles. All right, I'm with you. Hold on. Oh, wait, no. All right. Oh, no, it is a, you got lease. Let me read this because now this is getting confusing. You said 2024 QX80 used. That's what made me think it's a purchase. 18,000 miles. Sounds like a used car. 52,840 payment. Or, read the rest of the statement. Or 2026 QX60 MSRP 62,185 lease, 15,000 miles, 36 months, 0 down, 740. Okay, so 62,185. If I divide that, let's see what percentage lease that is. So let's see, 740 payment into 62,185. That's a 1.1% lease. Now that's for 15,000 miles a year. So I would think 12,000 would be about 720. We only run our formulas at 12,000 miles per year. So I would say that's going to be 720. Divide that into 62,185. That's a 1.15% lease. Phenomenal value. As long as you got multiple offers, then, you know, usually the best offer I've seen on a QX60 is going to be about 1%. 1.1 I've been seeing over the last 30 days. I've had a couple people who are using our process who have gotten QX60, so I know 1.1 is the deal kind of running right now. So 1.1, you're right there. You know, if you want to be thorough, you can make sure, yeah, but you're right there. That's about as good as you're gonna get. Even if somebody saves you another $20, $25, it's not gonna dramatically change. There's a lot of people, the 80% of dealers are not selling them for that price. I'll tell you that. So you're talking to a 20% dealer for sure. It's just a matter, this has nothing to do, Sarah, but how long you're going to keep the car. Nothing to do. I bought a used Infiniti QX60 2 years ago. It was 3 years old. I got a great offer on it. I got it was a $55,000 truck, brand new. That's another thing we teach. You must know the price of a used car. When you're buying a used car, most people have no idea the most important thing when it comes to, did I get a good price on a used car? And that's how much was the car new? How much was the car when it was brand new? So I got a great deal on it, but here's the thing. Even with that great deal, Sarah, even with a good interest rate, Sarah, when I went to look at replacing that car after 2 years, I would have lost the $5,000 I put down, and my payment is higher than had I leased. So I was already behind the 8 ball compared to, I'm just talking money coming out of my household. Not to mention I'm driving a car that no longer has a warranty because I got 1.5 years left when I bought the car. I didn't buy an extended warranty. See, let's not talk about putting extra money into the car. Let's talk about what comes with the car before we consider putting extra money into it. So what I did was, wait, hang on. So money coming out of my household on the used car, 5,000 I put down, finance the rest, and then my payment is higher than if I would have leased, which means if I go to replace that car, the money that I could have got selling it to a CarMax, a Carvana, a Driveway, it was a break even. So my down payment's gone. This is the cost. This is what I tell people. You're not going to beat depreciation on a car. And so how do I win? You keep the car 8 years. The car is unforgiving when you purchase it. The first 6 years, it's wiping you out. It's taking money from your bank account. Some of you, well, I pay cash for cars. Took a lot of money from your bank account. You could have parked that money in a stock. You could have parked that money in the market. You could have parked that money in real estate. And you get nothing for parking it in a car. You don't even get a positive return. You don't even get a net, a break even return. It's not like you can park 20 grand in a car, go back in 6 years, pull your 20 grand out of it. No, your money goes down every day it's in that car. Where do we win at? Long-term ownership. 8-year rule. That's why we've made it easy for you. We've made it easy for you at Cars From Home. It's the 8-year rule. You can slice it all you want. Deshone, I'm dissecting your 8-year rule. I'm diving into depreciation. I want to see if I really win. You can slice it up all you want. The first years of your car, 6 years, depreciation is killing you. People who pay cash for cars very rarely are going to go switch their cars. Only people who have payments. Only people who have payments. Because payment buyers, all they have to do for you is get you to a payment you can afford, and you're like, hey, I guess I got a good deal here. A cash buyer would never accept some of the deals we see payment buyers accepting, because they don't have payments to hide what the true numbers are. If they go buy a car for $35,000, they come back in 2 years, they want to switch it. The dealer says, hey, I'm giving you 19 for it. They say, hey, I just paid 35 cash for this. I'm not taking 19. The payment buyer takes the same 19, but he doesn't see the 19 because all he sees is, well, when I paid 35 for it, my payment was 620. Can you get me the 620 on the new one too? Okay, so I'm gonna give you 19 for your car. You're gonna take a loss on that. You don't see it. I'm gonna sell you the new car, manipulate the loan. All right, I got you the 600. That's okay. Oh, that's perfect. Get $20 a month less. Perfect. You leave in a 6-year, 7-year loan in the new car. You didn't realize you just lost a ton of money. Cash buying, I teach you to see the numbers that cash buyers should see, because you always separate your loan from your purchase. You always separate your monthly payments from your purchase. From your monthly payments, that's your loan. Your interest rate, your payments, term, how long am I paying? That's your loan. That has nothing to do with what I'm paying for the car and how much you're giving me for the car. So, Sarah, if you're keeping the next car 8 years, buy the Infiniti QX60, QX80 if it's a good deal on it that you're getting. If you're not keeping it 8 years, the lease is going to save you a ton of money. It's going to save you the most money. It's not a question. 52,000 $52,840 a month payment. Again, I don't know how you had an $840 a month payment. That's a very long loan. If you went in and you bought a used vehicle and it's a $52,000 vehicle, some of you know every $5,000 is how much on a car payment. Every $5,000 is how much per month on a car payment. See, we're using a healthy loan. We're not using a 7-year loan as our basis for estimating. 5.24, 72 month. Let me just put this into it. That still doesn't sound right. That still doesn't sound right. Let's see. Okay, 52,000, 5.24%, 72 months, 844. Okay. Okay. Good interest rate. And again, you look at, see, when you're comparing leasing to buying a used car, we also are comparing what I drive and how much I pay. So I'm looking at a brand new car that has a warranty and I'm paying X amount for it versus a used car that has a warranty, it's going to expire. In your case, you're looking at the next level up of car. So you're looking at the QX80 versus looking at leasing the QX60, which is the next size down. So typically, that's a different comparison because, all right, if I buy the used version, I can get more car because normally the lease QX80 is going to be more. But what most people are doing, they're comparing buying the same car to leasing the same car. So I'm comparing buying a QX60 to leasing a QX60. But in your case, you're looking at the QX80. I can purchase a used version of it, or I can lease a QX60. And here's the thing. If you're going to, if which one covers your needs? Because if the QX60 covers your needs, then why not look at buying a used QX60? If we're buying and the QX60 does the job for us, and I'm comparing buying leasing a QX60, $62,000 vehicle, $740 a month with no money down, that vehicle would normally be about probably about $1,000 a month if I purchased it with no money down. Then why am I comparing? Why am I not looking at a used QX60? You know, a 3-year-old QX60 that I can get for, you know, $35,000 or something. So again, but the decision is always going to be long-term ownership. If you buy that QX80 used and you turn around and you flip out of that car in 3 years, you lost. Because you add up all those payments that you paid, you look at what you're still going to owe on the balance, look at what you'll put in concerning brakes, tires, you add that up, you're counting the cost, you're going to see what they're giving you for it, what it's going to be worth at that time, and you're going to see, wow, that's how much it cost me to drive a QX80, used one, over a 3-year period. And you compare that 3-year cost that came out of my household to, is there a way I could have driven a car and had less money come out of my household? You don't get anything for it. See, we're not talking to the people who say, well, once she pays off the car, it's her car. She has a car paid off. We're not talking about that. We're talking about if she replaces the car before it's paid off, or if she replaces the car as soon as she pays it off. Typically, people who take out a 6-year loan are going to trade in their car before they pay the loan off, or they're going to trade in the car as soon as they get their title, they're going to go and get another car. If you're not keeping your car 8 years, then you're losing a ton of money on these purchases. I'm not talking about leasing for people who are keeping their cars 8 years or longer. Hence why we created the 8-year rule. If you are purchasing and your goal is to keep the car 8 years or more, you should not be thinking about a lease. All of the losses are in the short term for the purchaser. Higher payments to purchase versus a below market lease. More upkeep. I got to replace brakes. I got to replace tires. It costs me more. Oh, now my warranty is expired. So I'm worried about if my navigation system is going to start flickering. I'm worried about this. These are things that could happen because I don't have a warranty. So therefore, that's a experience. It taints my experience a little bit. A person who's driving below market leases is not worried about their navigation flickering. They're going to take it to the service shop. They're going to fix it. It's always under warranty, and then they're coming back home. So in the short term, the person who's leasing is killing the person who's purchasing, because below market leases 1 to 1.5%. I'm paying less money than you are paying to drive your car, and I have a brand new car with a warranty, and that's it. When I get to my 8th year, though, and I've been leasing, the money that I paid is more than you. So if you purchased, you paid off your car, you took a 6-year loan, paid higher payments than me, had no warranty, had your car broke down one time, you had to call a tow truck, roadside assistance, you didn't have a warranty, you went into the service shop, they said, hey, just so you know, your bearings on your car need to be replaced. You had all of that happen. I didn't, but when you get to 8 years, you won. All of that money, all that experience, 8 years. Get to 8 years, and you beat the person who got the below market lease. But anytime before that, you lost. You lost. Start with my cheat sheets. They're in my bio or the comment section. That's where to go. They're free. That's where you start. That's where we start. All right. So this was a test, actually. I just wanted to test this. This new way of streaming, because it seems we're able to go vertical now. So we'll be doing some streams. But again, guys, what I'm going to tell you is I'm going to get rid of the live streaming. I'm going to get rid of the generic live streaming in most cases. We got 14,000 people who have our ebook. Thank you to everyone who has the Cars from Home 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships ebook. That's an action blueprint. We have over 2,400 people who have our video checklist, where they're going through everything we teach on how to get to your car, steps 1 through 7 in video format. I want to go deeper with them. I got to figure out something else for you guys who have no knowledge of our process. Because what I find is a person who's going to hop on a live and not admit, I'm a financial doctor. Unfortunately, I have to break bad news to everybody. There's not many people who I meet that tell me, Deshone, I already get multiple bids. I do not buy a car without looking at multiple offers. I do not buy a used car without knowing how much it was when it was new, to see how much I'm really getting off the car. I've not met a person like that. I'm sure there's someone like that, but I haven't met them. Most of the people who are DMing me, they're tripping all over themselves. And then hey, Deshone, did I get a good deal on this? They don't want to show their paperwork. They don't want to show. They're not, I'm gonna start putting on all my social media channels, all the people that email me and DM me and send me pictures and post to our group using our process and getting their cars, breaking down the numbers, just like me. Deshone, just got this 1% lease. Hey, Deshone, just got this used car. I got 38% true value discount. Like, I got 7 offers. I had to drive an hour and a half to go pick it up. They're talking just like me. They know their percentages. They know the shopping process to know they got a great deal, to know they got a below market deal. But I got to get you guys to the first base. Me coming on and you just asking a bunch of questions about your car deal and not really having an idea about the Cars from Home process, and even that you should have a process, that's not doing you any good. It's not doing me any good. I want the people who are ready to change, who are ready to be empowered. That's who I want. That's who I need to focus on. When you're ready to change, I'm here for you. We're here for you. We got a whole community of people who've been rocking with us for 4 years. We got people who got 4 cars. We got grandmothers who are using our system that never left their house, had their car delivered, brand new cars delivered to their house, never left, using the internet, using our 7-step system, using our email scripts, never left their house. Grandmothers. Meanwhile, we got 20-year-olds and 40-year-old men who are too proud to admit that, I don't really know I got a great deal. I'm hoping I did. So when you're ready to change, You're ready for empowerment. You're ready to make dealers compete for your business. You're ready to email, use scripts, use templates, not have to remember what the dude on Instagram or TikTok what did he say when he was calling those dealers negotiating with that one dealer? What did he say? What did he say to get 5,000 off that one dealer? If you got 5,000 off from one dealer, you're talking to an 80% dealer. It's nothing to do. How do I know I couldn't get 8,000 off? How do I know I couldn't get 10,000 off? We can call around all day. Hey, listen, I need this car. Take 5,000 off it. Somebody's going to say yes. But how do we know 5,000 was the best? How do we know it wasn't 10,000? How do we know if we weren't talking to the dealer 45 minutes, an hour and a half away, they would have said, hey, listen, we got $5,000 in rebates and I got to get rid of this car. I'll give you 10,000 off. Multiple offers, my two favorite words. Tim, I'm glad you got the book, Tim. Thank you. I've learned that there are still a lot of salespeople in certain markets, 80%, that shun leasing because they don't really know how to explain it. There you go, Tim. Tim, that's the realest statement I've ever seen. Tim said, I've learned that there are still a lot of salespeople in certain markets that shun leasing because they really don't know how to explain it. When I came to TikTok, I was on Facebook and somebody said, Deshone, there's a guy on TikTok. He teaches like you. And I think, check him out. And maybe you might want to go to TikTok. And I went and I watched his stuff and I was like, I like this guy. He was honest. He seemed like he was doing the best he could. He was in a car dealership. And when someone asked him, hey, could you break down leasing for us? He said, no, listen, you don't want to lease your cars. You're going to get charged at the end. They're going to charge you for the mileage. Just buy your cars. When I tell you I was on TikTok that next day, because I said, if this guy has 159,000 followers and this is what he is teaching, then the public's in trouble. So what I've been teaching from day one is leasing for the short term, 8-year person, 8-year rule. If you're not keeping 8 years, you should not be looking at purchasing a car. All the depreciation, all the money, all the payments, all the headaches is in the first 6 to 8 years. Once you get through all those headaches, you make it through that gauntlet, you pay off the car, you redeem yourself from taking all that money out of your account if you paid cash, you start to win again. But it has to be 8 years because it's so expensive in the first 8 years. Depreciation's killing you. You're looking at how much, if you had your car appraised every year. All right, year one, I got it appraised. What is it worth? Year two, got it appraised. What is it worth? Dag, I lost $7,000. Okay, year three, got it appraised. What is it worth? Dag, I lost another $7,000. Year four, get it appraised. All right, I lost $4,500 this year. Year six, get it appraised. Oh, all right, I only lost about $3,000 year six. Year seven, get it appraised. Oh, I only lost $1,500. Good. Depreciation, the unseen expense. This is what no one talks about. So you're weighing this against the person who is getting below market leases, not overpaying for their leases, 1 to 1.5%, including all taxes and fees, incredible value. It's no comparison. They're coming out they're paying cents on the dollar compared to you. They're driving new cars compared to you. And where do you win? You win at 8 years because they're going to be paying for the next 8, 9 years because all they do is lease. So they're always going to have a payment. But once you get to 8 years, you redeem yourself from all that money coming out of your account and you're driving an older car. Start with my free cheat sheets. It's in my bio or it's in the comment section. This is how we move. This is how we move. It's always got to be about numbers. Be very, very careful. Again, I mean, look, Dave Ramsey's done a wonderful job teaching you how to invest in mutual funds and how to be debt free. But Dave Ramsey has the worst car advice. You can't teach someone to do something that everyone can't do. So I'll give you an example. Many people have heard Dave say everyone should buy a used car, right? Everyone should buy a used car, right, Dave? So if you could snap your fingers, everyone in the world would just buy used cars, right? Exactly, right? So how do they become used? What happens? We just let them sit on the lot for 3 years and then we go buy them? If your solution can't work for 100% of the population, it's not a real solution, or you've left the gap in the market. Who should be buying used cars? People who are keeping them 8 to 10 years or longer. Let the first owner take the depreciation. You know who should be the first owner? People who lease. So in a perfect world, if I could snap my fingers, you'd have people who don't keep their cars 8 to 10 years, leasing, buying below market leases, keeping them 3 years, and then you'd have people buying them as pre-owned cars and keeping them 8 to 15 years. See how there's no gaps there? In your way of approaching things, there's gaps. We can't make that a reality because you want people to do things the way you teach it, but you don't realize you've left a huge gap. And if you buy a used car and you plan to keep it 3 years and then go trade it in, because you don't even realize that a lot of your people who are listening to you are not keeping their cars 8 years. They're buying used cars, and then in 3 years, the warranty runs out. They're driving it. They're like, all right, I guess I'll go get another one. And then they go get another car. And so they take the depreciation hit on the first one they bought. Bad financial advice concerning cars. Stick to mutual funds. Stick to people who want to be debt free. You've been teaching people, okay, hey, yeah, you shouldn't have no debt. Well, you talk to people in Wall Street that invest. You talk to somebody who's going to buy who's going to lease a car, get a below market lease. Tons of disposable income left. See, you know when you don't have a lot of disposable income? When someone told you you should go buy your car. So what you do is you go look at a $35,000 Toyota Camry. You go buy that Toyota Camry. Your payment is $500 a month because you haven't had and let's say you saved up the money, because Dave says, oh, save up the money and pay cash. You do realize all paying cash is a bunch of saved up car payments. We realize that, right? It's not like you hit the lotto and, oh, magically I have cash in my bank. No, you're saving up car payments. And instead of making them to a bank, I'm just going to go and pay cash. But you know what you lose when you pay cash for a car? You lose the opportunity for that money to make you money. So if I go and take $20 or $30 or $40,000 out my account, put it into a car, what is that $30,000 worth to me in, say, 5 years? If we go and put $30,000 into a car, what is that $35,000 worth to me in 5 years? Compared to if I took $35,000, put it into a mutual fund, 10%. So I get the 35, 5 years from now, I can get my original 35 out and I have a return on that money. So we're comparing taking cash out of where it's earning me money, putting it into a depreciating asset where I'm not even going to be able to go get my original 35, and I lose the 35 and the money that the 35 could have made for me. And this is wise financial advice. Doesn't make sense to me. I was fortunate to work in a lot of white collar towns here in New Jersey, Bergen County, Morris County, parts of Essex County, where there are very wealthy people who have paid off houses. And if you are 40 years old with a paid off house, you were somebody I was going to ask some questions to. And when I saw that they were leasing, they knew that they weren't keeping the cars long enough to avoid depreciation. And because they were getting phenomenal lease deals, they had a lot of disposable income to what? Invest in the market. It's more than one way to wealth. Especially if you can dissect that there are holes in a person's strategy. And when it comes to cars, there's just too many holes in Dave Ramsey's strategy. Again, I don't take anything away from what he's done, but a lot of what he's done with cars has damaged more people than he'll admit or he'll ever care to even face. He's done so much damage. The people who have told you never lease a car, they have done so much damage. They owe you money. All of these people that we teach about leasing in the short term and how to get below market leases, they're counting the money they lost. When they go and they say, man, I used to pay $700, I used to pay $500, and I used to buy these cars, and now, wait, I pay this. I wasn't even trading them. Again, we're not keeping them. These weren't people who were keeping cars 8 to 10 years. These were people who were buying cars, taking out 5 and 6 year loans because, hey, my parents told me I'm supposed to own. My parents told me I'm supposed to purchase. My family said, oh, you don't want to lease a car. And I go and I take out my 5 and 6 year loan, but I'm not a person who keeps cars that long. I'm not going to keep a car 8 years. Soon as the car is paid off, I'm going to get another car. Right before my car's paid off, hey, I'm going, the dealership sending me letters, I'm going in and I'm replacing this car. These are not people who should be purchasing cars. And that's who I talk to. You have never heard me once, and you will never hear me once try to convince an 8 to 10-year person to lease a car. You will not hear that. The reason we created the 8-year rule is so you know when you go out to shop for your car if you should be shopping for a purchase. Deshone said 8 to 10 years I should be shopping for a purchase. Don't even think about leasing. But those of you who are stuck in the middle, you buy your cars, you replace them in 3 and 4 and 5 years, you're losing way more money than you even understand. Those of you who buy your car, you take out a loan, you pay it off, and as soon as you get the title, you're in the dealership replacing the car, you're losing way more money in payments and depreciation than you'll understand. Those of you who take tons of cash out of your bank account, take it out of the market, go put it into a depreciating asset, replace that car in 5, 6 years, you're losing way more money than you ever understand. And the person who's getting below market leases he has tons less money a year coming out of their bank account than you. Net. Start with my cheat sheets. They're in my bio. They're in the comment section. Change the behavior. How long is the average lease term? 3 years. And do not accept a 4-year lease. You're paying too long for a car you're giving back. Don't even accept a 3.5-year lease. Don't accept a 42-month lease. Don't accept a 48-month lease. You're paying too long for a car you're giving back. 39 months is the longest we'll look at. 24 months is just fine. No money down leases. Shop all your leases with 0 down. First month's payment is all you should be shopping your lease offers with. 12,000 miles a year, taxes and fees included. Divide the payment into the MSRP. That's going to give you a percentage. Get multiple offers, at least 5, so you can find the 20% dealers and expose the 80%. That's the Cars from Home process. Start with my cheat sheets. They're in my bio. They're in the comment section. This is all we do. All right. This was a good test. This was a good test. Now I'm going to see if I can take some of these. I might want to change my, I think I'll sit back from now on because I think I think this is that's the right angle. So I could put my titles of my videos up here. And yeah, we're good. All right, y'all, I'm gonna jump off. This has been good. We'll be streaming vertically now, but I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with the streams. Again, I gotta come up with a different way. We're gonna stream differently, y'all. I can't do I gotta come up with a different experience. We'll figure it out. Anyway, thanks, y'all. Have a great evening. Download my cheat sheets if you haven't already. Shout out to the people taking action. Shout out to the people who are shopping empowered. And it sucks for the people who are just, you're moving with anxiety because you don't have to. You're moving with anxiety. You're moving with no confidence. You're driving off the dealership lot, wondering if you did okay. You're in the dealership 45 minutes, 2 hours, you're sweating. You're uncomfortable, hoping that you're not going to say the wrong thing, and you're buying something from them. There's no other experience in the world that you would accept that type of experience on a 5-figure investment. I guess you don't feel like you deserve a great experience. You don't feel like you deserve to shop empowered. You know the internet exists, but you don't know how to use it when it comes to your car deal. You know we're not building rocket ships here. We have a system for shopping multiple offers from home using the internet the way it should be used to compare multiple offers so that we're empowered and we make a great deal before we accept it. This isn't rocket science. We didn't invent a cure for some major disease. You are going to buy a 5-figure item, $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 item, and you're going to negotiate with one person when 80 dealers in the country have the same exact item. If you're shopping for a common item like a Honda or a Nissan, 25 dealers in a 3-hour, 4-hour radius have the exact same car, and they're all selling it for different prices. But they made you think, oh, we're like the Apple store. Just come to the one who's the closest. You do realize you can buy your car from anywhere you want and service it anywhere you want. So you buy your car from who makes you the best offer. You service your car from where it's the most convenient. When I buy my cars, I'm driving an hour away every time because the local dealers do not win my business. When I service my car, I'm driving 18 minutes to get to my nearest service center. Every time I take an hour and 15-minute drive to pick up a new car, it's because I'm saving $8,000-9,000 for that trip. And the closest dealer to me might only be taking off 5 or 6. I'm making $2,000-3,000 to drive the additional hour and a half, hour 20 minutes to pick up my vehicle. All right. Thanks, y'all. God bless y'all. I'll see you soon. How do you work on 5 to 7 dealerships within 600 miles? We go further. If you're talking about, so if you're saying that there's 5 to 7 dealers, what brand? What brand? Because if the dealerships know that there's only 5 to 6 or 5 to 7 and 600 miles, then how do you think that's going to be reflected in the pricing they give you? Because they think Lexus dealership. Okay, I'm driving 3. Perfect example. We got people in Florida using our cars from home process. We got people in Texas. We got people in California. This is where I first learned that people will get on a plane to go get a great deal. People will get on a plane to go get a great deal and drive their car home. Now, if you're saying there's a Lexus dealership and there's only 7 of them within 600 miles, okay, you can hit all 7 and then you can go wider than that. I'm not going to buy a car without getting a below market offer. If it's a plane ride away and someone's taking off more money, I need to see it. A dealership that's a plane ride away might be taking off $6,000 for me, and my closest dealer is taking off $4,000. Maybe I don't go and get the plane ride, but I want to see it. I need to know what's out there. I'm not going to play a game. And the people using the cars from home process, all the cars from home people, we care about our money. We care about our money. We're shopping 25 and I can tell you, we've had people shopping all over the country. I never have. We got people in the Dakotas who are shopping 3-4 states because there's only a couple dealerships in the Dakotas. But what I'm not going to do is let a dealership in the Dakotas make a ton of money on me because they know there's only a handful of them in the state. I'm not going to allow that. All these other people can come in here and you can charge them these prices, but I will book a $200 plane ticket and I'll go pick up my car in the next state and I'll drive it back here. Or I'll ask the dealership, depending on if they're really giving me a great price, hey, do you have a shipping company? How much would it be to ship the car to my house? Oh, it'll be $1,200. Well, even with the $1,200, you're still thousands lower than my local dealership. So can we just do the deal and let's handle the shipping and drive that thing to me? This is not a TV. The money that, and unfortunately, you won't know the money you're losing. And that's why some people don't go forward with what we teach, because they don't want to know the money that they've lost. Once you start using what we teach, you see the money you've lost. You know how many emails and DMs I've got over the years? Man, it's amazing how much money I threw away. It's some people who don't want to make that realization. They're not willing to do it. They would rather keep losing the money and not know what they're losing. They rather than stop the bleeding and see from now on, all right, I made 5 car deals. We had somebody she had put $5,000 down and she traded in a car and she leased a Jeep, and her payment was over $700 a month, and that payment would have been great with no money down. So had that been a no money down lease, that would have been a great payment. It would have been maybe around 1.2%. But with $5,000 down and a trade-in for a couple thousand, it was a horrible deal. A pretty much $8,000 to $10,000 loss on the deal that she overpaid by. She used the cars from home system. She ended up getting a new Infiniti, and her Infiniti payment is less than her Jeep payment with no money down. And the cars were around the same. And she got a $62,000 Infiniti and the Jeep that she got was right around 60,000. You think I'm not willing to face the bad news? She was willing to face the bad news. Yes, I didn't know what I was doing. I went into these dealerships. I thought I did. I thought I could maneuver with my way through. Turns out when I met you, Deshone, I realized that I was getting ripped off and I was making horrible deals, and I'm losing $5,000-$10,000 on these deals. But I'm done with that. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm changing how I buy cars. And then she ends up leasing this car, no money down, and paying the same amount. And she didn't have to put $5,000 down and a trade. So she can quantify that knowing Deshone and using the Cars from Home process has already made me $8,000 richer. And as I keep buying cars and using the Cars from Home process, I'm going to just be up and up and up. Start with my cheat sheets. They're in my bio or the comment section. But you can't, if you're not willing to face it, if you just want to close your eyes and you just want to hope, okay, I don't want to know the bad news. No one can help you. That's like you going, I'm putting my link to the cheat sheets in my bio in the comment section for you now. That's like you going into the doctor and the doctor saying, and you're like, hey, doc, man, I don't feel too good, man. I don't feel good at all, man. That's how some of you are with your car deals. Hey, I don't feel good at all. From the time I start to the time I'm done, even afterwards, I just don't feel good. That's like you going into the doctor, telling them the same thing. Doc, man, I feel horrible. And I just don't know what to do. I just can't deny it. I feel horrible. And the doctor says, look, well, I got some bad news for you. I don't want to hear it. Look, I don't want to hear it. Don't even tell me, doc. Don't even tell me. But you feel bad though, right? Yeah, but don't even tell me. Just listen. I'd rather just keep going. Now, meanwhile, the doctor's going to give you the bad news, tell you what needs to change, and give you the directions to have a better life. That's how we are approaching this car, teaching you to change the way you shop for cars. When you're ready to change, when you're ready to stop leaving dealerships with buyer's remorse, when you're ready to stop feeling like, oh, I guess I got to take 8 hours to get this car. I guess I'm going to just go into the dealership and deal with this. I guess, oh, man, I'm not a good negotiator. When you're ready to change, we'll give you the process that you walk through to guarantee below market deals. But you got to be ready for that. When you are, you can start with my free cheat sheets in my bio or the comment section. Until then, you're going to continue to feel bad. You're going to continue to be the ones that car dealers love to see you coming. Hey, Mr. Johnson, come on in. Good to see you. What's going on? Hey, you ready for another one? All right, listen, man. But look, I want a good deal this time. Listen, Mr. Johnson, we always give you a good deal. Let's pick out a car for you, Mr. Johnson. Come on, hey, you still like black, or you thinking you want to switch to white? Next thing you know, Mr. Johnson driving down the road, and you are Mr. Johnson. And you have no idea did I do good? Did I not do good? All you know is I wanted to pay this, and they got me to this. And you think because they got you to your budget, well, I had to get a good deal. It's in my budget. You know how many people use our stuff and they're going below their budget? You know how many people budget when they come in to do a deal using the Cars from Home process and say, all right, I got 5,000. I don't want to put it down, but if I got to, I'll throw it into the deal, and then I could spend $600 a month. That's my budget. You know how many people leave at $570 a month? They get a deal and it's $570 a month, and they put no money down, and they're like, whoa, shoot, man, I got all this to keep. When's the last time you did a car deal below your budget? This is what it is. So again, all right, I'm going to jump off, y'all. Deshone's cheat sheets, it's in the bio, it's in the comment section. Start there. When you're ready to move to our 7-step process, you can move to our 7-step process, and you'll be good for the rest of your life. The car business is not going to change. Why should they? It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. People are going to go into those car dealerships on Saturdays, Sundays, Fridays, holidays, end of the month. Why would they change anything? Public is predictable. You don't want to be the public. You're going to get what the public keeps getting. And I'll keep reaching out for the people who want to change, for the people who want Well, eventually I wanna put we'll put together a page shortly where it's gonna just be all of our people. Yeah, I mean it's probably gonna be I want to host all our people that use our stuff somewhere where you can go, almost like book reviews. Like we got a lot of book reviews for our book Cars from Home, but I want a page where it's just dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of people who use the Cars from Home process posting their car deals, so that you can see how many people around the country, single moms, grandmothers, young men, older men, couples, doesn't matter how many people around the country have transformed the way they shop for cars using our process. They're not going back. They're not going back. They'll never go and spend more than 30 minutes in a car dealership again. They will never be in a car dealership negotiating again, ever. It's done. And that's how we know the Cars from Home process is transformational, because once a person uses it, they are permanently changed. I'm not going back in the car dealership once I see I don't have to. I'll stay right here. I'll use my computer. I'll make dealers come to me, and I'll make all my decisions right from here. And the only time I'm driving to pick up is to pick up my car. That's the Cars from Home process. So start with my free cheat sheets in my bio, in the comment section. If you're ready to change, come out of your old way of thinking, you'll get different results. You want to continue to hold on to anxiety and car buying remorse? You want to continue to drive off the dealership and be like, oh, hey, all right, I hope I won. Don't let somebody like me put, hey, that's Deshone Auto Advisor. Hey, Deshone, I just got this new car, man. Some people, they tell me stories and be like, hey, yeah, I used your stuff. Oh, you did? You did? Oh, how long were you in the dealership? Not more than about 2 hours. No, you didn't. You didn't use my stuff. It's like I'm a doctor. I can diagnose who used my stuff. When I know somebody used my stuff, hey, Deshone, man, I just got the car. Listen, here's the car, man. Look, I had to drive 2 hours to pick this thing up. Oh, sounds like somebody who used my stuff. Hey, Deshone, look, I just got this lease. I got 7 offers. This is a 1.1% lease. No money down. Yep. That sounds like somebody who used our stuff. Hey, Deshone, I just got this used car, man. Look, man, I got a 42% discount off the new price. I used your true value calculator. I got 42% off. Oh, yep, you used my stuff. It's transformational. It's not negotiating tips. Start with my cheat sheets in the comments, in the bio. See y'all.